Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
One day after a nationwide student walkout, new surveillance video will be released today from that Broward County shooting.
Folks with the Sarasota County Emergency Management Service, they're continuing to look at ways to prepare and to also respond following Hurricane Irma. We have a live report on the different strengths and weaknesses the county is seeing when they're responding straight ahead.
And it is the end of an era for one giant toy company. We'll tell you what happened. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
These are changing times. Toy companies, bookstores.
I know, right? The whole face of retailing, because of everything that's gone online, is really changing these days.
All these disruptions to the economy. But
young whippersnappers.
that's right. Where's my phone booth?
Right.
All right, let's go. John Scalzi, bail us out of this one, would you? Good
Now,
morning.
did you ever think that you would have a little button by your products at home where you could just tap it and more would be arriving at your doorstep in a couple of days?
So dangerous, but so wonderful.
Especially if we're talking Oreos.
Right, right?
We're looking at some pleasant weather outside, but cool weather, no doubt about that. Not quite as cold as predicted, but nevertheless, at least along the coastline, but still chilly, no doubt about it. 47 degrees in Sarasota, well below the average by about 10 degrees. 46 degrees in Bradenton. Inland temperatures, though, are certainly cooler. 40 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, and Myakka. And we still have another couple of hours of cooling left. If you look at the temperature difference between today and yesterday at this hour, along the coastline, it's a little warmer. Inland, it's a little cooler. So there you go. Split the difference, right? Satellite view shows plenty of sunshine coming your way this afternoon. Daytime highs will probably actually top out a little bit warmer as the warming trend we've been talking about all week long starts to kick in today. It'll be a slow evolution. We'll talk about how warm it gets over the weekend coming up in a few minutes.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. We'll slow down there on 301 southbound as you come out of Bradenton and head towards Sarasota County. Speaking of which, the upper half of Sarasota County showing some early buildup there on Fruitville Road in the westbound lane as you cross over Beneva and head toward Tuttle. Also 301, some congestion there. We'll check on that in a matter of seconds here. South County is all clear right now at 6:02 on your Thursday morning. And here is an actual shot. Yeah, there is cars there.
There are cars there.
Sure enough.
There is the congestion that we tell you about often right there on 301 and Fruitville Road. That intersection always starts to get busy right around this time of the morning.
There it is. All right.
Well, it has been more than 6 months now since Hurricane Irma. This week, a former FEMA boss was in town with a kind of report card on just how emergency services dealt with that hurricane, the good and the bad.
A 72-page report card. Marla Spence has it. She's live outside the EOC in Sarasota County. Marla?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, Craig Fugate, who served as the Capitol's FEMA administrator up until last year, left Sarasota County and also county commissioners with a review on how the county performed and also responded following Hurricane Irma and what they can better do to respond to future storms. Now, in that review, Fugate did list a few strengths the county had as they responded to Hurricane Irma. Among the full list of strengths, some included shelters being provided for more than 20,000 people and the medical director taking calls throughout dispatch, helping people with their medical needs. So far, since the record storm, emergency management has had more than 20 meetings detailing ways to better plan for storms. Coming up at 6:30, we're going to be telling you some more strengths and also weaknesses that the county is seeing in order to respond following Hurricane Irma and also how they can better respond for future storms. Reporting live in Sarasota, Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
For the latest on this story and also breaking news and the forecast, check out our new app. It's under WWSB or under My Suncoast. Well, later on today, we're expecting to see surveillance video for the first time from that school massacre last month in Broward County. This just one day after a national student walkout. And now Congress has also passed a school safety bill. But as ABC's Diane Macedo tells us, some say it's still not enough.
Students from more than 3,000 schools nationwide flooded out of their classrooms demanding action against guns, summing up their message in one word: enough. Student leaders are calling for action from Parkland, Florida.
Even though it happened in our community, it affects the whole country. We all just want to feel safe in our schools.
To Newtown, Connecticut.
Sitting in lockdown literally scared for me and my siblings' life. I don't think that any student should ever have to go through that. And the fact that we've gone through it so many times since that is just unacceptable.
As the protesters gathered, the NRA tweeted this picture of an assault rifle with the message, "I'll control my own guns, thank you." Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, the House approved $500 million for school safety improvements, including training teachers and students on how to prevent violence. But the bill does not address changes to any gun laws. The Senate is considering a similar measure. Adding to the debate, 2 incidents of shots mistakenly fired inside schools by adults who were supposed to protect students. A school resource officer in Virginia misfired a gun on Tuesday, and in California, 3 students were injured when a teacher accidentally fired a shot into the ceiling during a lesson on gun safety.
I look at my shirt like that, and there's like blood on my shirt, and then I wipe my neck kind of, and a bullet fragment comes off my neck.
The teacher is now on leave. Meanwhile, the student protesters are looking ahead to the March for Our Lives event in Washington a week from Saturday. Organizers say star singers Ariana Grande, Jennifer Hudson, Miley Cyrus, and Demi Lovato will join them, demanding action on guns. Diane Macedo, ABC News, New York.
Well, the House passed a bill to fund more security at our schools. While the bill had bipartisan support, many Democrats are frustrated it doesn't include any gun control measures. Now, the vote on that bill was 407 to 10. The bill attempts to stop school violence by providing training for school officials and local law enforcement officials that have to respond to those having mental health issues. Now, it also provides money to develop anonymous reporting systems like apps for threats, and then also deterrent measures like metal detectors and locks for the schools themselves.
Back in this area, an update now on the future of the celery fields in eastern Sarasota County. The same group who fought against the debris recycling center that was going to be built there is now telling the county what they'd prefer instead. They gave them 40 ideas ranging from affordable housing to a park. One of the members of this Citizens Ad Hoc Committee says they put their heart and initiative into what they want to see happen here.
We know that the county has to do something with the land. It's fallow land. It's been empty for a lot of time. They want money. So how they get the money is what we're trying to facilitate. Some kind of businesses, green space, parks. There's a lot of ideas on the table.
And today, this citizens group that calls itself Fresh Start will meet with an advisory panel to look over proposals and see which one is the most feasible.
Sarasota County Commissioners have approved a proposal to extend the Legacy Trail. Now it's going to be going to a general vote. Now, the approval of the plan will allow for the purchase of land and construction of that extension, adding around 9 miles north to Payne Park in downtown Sarasota. Now, the Legacy Trail currently runs from the train depot in Venice to Culver House Nature Park in Sarasota. That extension will be on the November 6th general election ballot. And it is the end of the road for Toys R Us. The iconic toy retailer says it's going to be closing or selling all of its remaining stores here in the U.S. The news comes 6 months after the company filed for bankruptcy, and then 2 months after announcing they were planning to close almost 200 stores. Toys R Us has been in business for more than 70 years, and at one time was the country's leading toy retailer. But that chain, of course, has really been hit in recent years by big box competitors like Walmart and Target, as well as online giant Amazon.
Happening tonight, the state will lay out plans to improve a stretch of US 41 around Osprey and Nokomis. FDOT wants to add a median, paved shoulders, bike lanes, sidewalks, and make other improvements to US 41 from Blackburn Point Road all the way to McIntosh Road. That's quite a stretch. You can get a closer look at the designs tonight. It'll be at Our Lady of Mount Carmel Parish on Burney Road. Now, that is in Osprey. The meeting starts at 6 o'clock and always draws a lot of concerned residents. That's a big stretch of road right there.
That is a big chunk of area.
Blackburn and McIntosh, several miles. Still ahead, first alert traffic and
there may be a game-changer pill for peanut allergy sufferers. We've got that story for you coming up.
Here's a live peek at Manhattan at 6:09 this morning. Temperature there in the 30s, a little milder here, John Scalzi.
Yes, indeed, it certainly is. And this afternoon, it'll be milder still, at least milder than we have seen over the last several days. We're looking at none of the boxes for inclement weather checked for your drive time forecast this morning. It's going to be beautiful out there as you head to work. Plenty of sunshine, low 50s, and then as you head home, mid 60s as we head into a daytime high in the near the 70-degree mark. 10 out of 10 chance the kids get to spend their recess, out of doors today. Upper 60s forecast for them. We'll be right back with a complete forecast.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today. And named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So at the airport, we have an air temperature coming in at 47 degrees, which I would normally say is pretty representative of the region. But such is not the case today. The temperatures are really kind of all over the place. And in some places like Northport, for instance, where Richard Beaver, one of our weather watchers, just called in and reported 37 degrees. The temperatures are that are forecast yesterday are verifying nicely, but really it's a little bit inland where the temperatures have fallen off into the 30s. 41-degree dew point, so we still have a potential of losing a few more degrees on our official temperature from the airport over the course of the next few hours before we start to warm again. Southeast wind at about 5 is certainly helping to keep those temperatures up just a little bit above where they might otherwise be. 70 degrees by 3 p.m. though. We are on our way to a warmer afternoon than we saw 24 hours ago, despite the fact that in some places it's colder this morning than it was yesterday. And the reason for that is a big ridge of high pressure is kind of changing its location just a little bit to provide us this warmer weather. More on that in a second. 65 degrees at 7 p.m., 50 by midnight, and then as we head into the morning tomorrow, it will still be another cool morning out there. But daytime highs will start to moderate, and as we head into the weekend, so too will the nighttime lows. Big ridge of high pressure back to the west starts to migrate toward the east today As it does that, our winds start to lighten up just a little bit. And eventually, as it moves out into the Atlantic, our winds start to shift to the east. Now, the effect of that is basically to cut off the drainage of air from the north and keep that cold air from arriving on the sun coast, allowing our sun to go to work, allowing some milder temperatures to be advected in, and to increase our dew points a little bit so our nighttime lows are a bit warmer. All of that adding up to a slow increase in our temperatures. Today we start this daytime temperature warm up, still with some cool nights ahead though. By the time we get to the weekend, I think it'll be warm both day and night, warmer than we have been, and then we'll stay dry right straight through the weekend into probably the beginning of next work week. Now, what happens next work week? Well, an area of low pressure back to the west begins to develop. We stay sunny for Friday. We stay sunny for Saturday as well, for the most part, maybe a few extra clouds around. But then over the weekend, we'll watch the beginning of a frontal boundary begin to develop and advance in this direction so that by Tuesday of next week, we have excellent chances of rain showers as that next cold front moves through. That, too, by the way, will knock down our temperatures just a little bit. But still, it won't be as cold as the last cold front that came through. North wind comes in at about 10 today, light chop on your bay and inland waters, and the forecast looks good for the weekend. 70 for today, 74 for tomorrow. On Saturday, which of course is St. Patrick's Day, it looks like it'll be pretty nice out there with daytime high temperatures of about 75. 78 on Sunday, near the 80-degree mark. And then on Monday, we start to cloud up a little bit, put in a chance of rain showers. Front comes through on Tuesday, and we cool down on Wednesday. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. We are loving that St. Patrick's Day forecast. All right, taking a look outside your first alert traffic, not too much going on, just your typical slowdowns if you're heading into Bradenton, especially coming over those bridges. If you're heading into Sarasota County, those roads are running pretty good. You've got your normal slowdowns right there on 301, University Parkway, Fruitville Road as well. A little farther south in the area, those roads are actually looking pretty decent out there. No real traffic congestion or gridlock to see out there this time in the morning, so good look out there for your first alert traffic. Well, in today's Health Smart, doctors say they're seeing more and more cases of the peanut allergy in kids. It's estimated 2 kids in every single classroom are now affected. Now, while there's no treatment for peanut allergies, there is a new sign of hope, a new pill that helps train the immune system not to overreact to peanuts. Now, the pill reduces the risk of a severe life-threatening reaction. Doctors say it isn't a cure, but maybe at least a life preserver.
We are sad to report the loss of the host of Black Almanac here on ABC 7, Dr. Ed James. Hosted that show for over 45 years, but as our Dwayne Lindo shows us, Dr. James did a lot more than that in the community.
Dr. Edward James dedicated his life to journalism, fighting for equal rights and being a voice for the voiceless. He was part of a family that had a storied history of civil rights activism and spent decades serving as a leader of the African American community. Both personally and professionally, Dr. James helped make the Suncoast a better place. Dr. James had an extensive background in government and public relations. His career included jobs as a columnist and government reporter, as well as a public information officer and deputy chief investigator for the state attorney's office for the 12th Judicial Circuit of Florida. Dr. James joined the ABC 7 family back in 1972 as a weekend news anchor. That year, he also started producing and hosting the show Black Almanac.
Good morning. I'm Ed James, and this is Black Almanac.
It is now the longest airing locally produced public affairs program in the southeastern United States. Over the years, Black Almanac helped shed a light on concerns of the African American community, specifically Newtown. Dr. James fought for justice for a mother whose son was killed in an officer-involved shooting. He also invited law enforcement officials, local and state government leaders on the show regularly to get answers on what they were doing for the people in our communities. In 2017, Black Almanac celebrated its 45th anniversary. But it was the work Dr. James did outside the show that also made a lasting difference. Dr. James helped with the desegregation of the Sarasota County Public Library. He also served as a mentor for both adults and young people.
It was Ed James that impacted my life.
Including the principal of Booker High School, Dr. Rachel Shelley, by helping her graduate college. Dr. James also helped facilitate improvements in the Newtown community, including a new dugout at the Newtown Estates baseball field, so players would be protected from bad weather. That dugout is now dedicated in honor of Dr. James. Dr. James also spent decades working with nonprofit groups, including the NAACP, Coalition of African American Leadership, North Sarasota County Civic League, and many more. Dr. James was honored with a Lifetime Service Award and a Freedom Award by the Sarasota County NAACP. He was also given the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Sarasota African American Chamber of Commerce. Dr. James is survived by his wife Helen and 3 children. He was 78 years old.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Well, I do that.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Drive a brand new 2018 Lincoln MKC for $279 per month or the Lincoln MKZ for $299 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment. Every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Well, it is March 15th. That means it is exactly 1 month from your deadline to file those taxes.
So I talked to a local accountant and asked him for 3 tips, just 3 basic tips for how we can protect or grow our money.
My first tip is to plan for your future. Contribute to your IRA or to your company's 401k. This will be one of the best things that you can do for your taxes. You'll get a current year deduction, you'll save for the future, and unlike most deductions, you actually get to keep the money. My second tip would be, if you're self-employed, to take advantage of the home office deduction. If you have a designated space in your house, you can save some tax money by deducting a portion of your house expenses related to this office. My third tax tip is a forward-looking one. That's going to be applicable for 2018 and afterwards. And with the new tax law changes, the IRS has increased the standard deduction. So a lot of people will not be able to take an itemized deduction for the real estate taxes and mortgage interest. One way that you can get around this would be to double some of your bills in 1 year. For example, if you paid your real estate taxes for the current year and the next year all in 1 year, you'll increase the itemized deductions for that year and may get some benefit from that.
Well, it might be too late for this year, but perhaps for the next year's tax, you can do some things this year to help your position.
All right, sounds good. Well, as we first told you yesterday, the family of a former staff member from the Democratic National Committee is suing Fox News over reports of their son's death.
ABC's Tom Lamas has an update.
In this morning's GMA First Look,
Fox is responsible for the hell they've created.
for the first time, Joel and Mary Rich sharing their story, telling ABC News how the trauma of losing their son Seth to murder turned into torture when they say Fox News published a bogus story about it based on a conspiracy theory.
I want the people who started the lies, who are responsible for the lies, held accountable. This has got to stop.
Rich, a 27-year-old staffer for the Democratic National Committee, shot and killed in 2016.
He was shot twice in the back. Best police can figure is it was a robbery gone wrong.
And we'll have more of our exclusive interview coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Tom Llamas, ABC News, New York.
Precisely because
Easter is our favorite time of year. We get dressed up.
We go to church.
Where do we get our clothes?
Burlington.
We get quality name brand clothes at Burlington's low prices. Wow.
Happy Easter!
Allergies with sinus congestion and pressure? You won't find relief here. Go to the pharmacy counter for powerful Claritin D. While the leading allergy spray relieves 6 symptoms, Claritin D relieves 8, including sinus congestion and pressure. Claritin D relieves more.
I did everything I could to make her party perfect.
Almost everything. You know, 1 in 10 houses could get hit by an expensive septic disaster. But for only $7 a month, Rid-X helps break down waste. Avoid a septic disaster with Rid-X.
For all the eyes that get itchy and watery near pollen, there's Flonase Sensimist. It relieves all your worst symptoms, including nasal congestion, which most pills don't, and all from a gentle mist you can barely feel. Flonase Sensimist.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
Raycom Sports and Blizzard Entertainment are debuting a new 5-part series. It's called Heroes of the Dorm, and students from the Atlantic Coast region are competing in Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm for over $500,000 in scholarships and prizes. The tournament features teams from colleges across the United States and Canada battling in Heroes of the Storm, featuring characters and lore from almost 30 years of Blizzard Entertainment. We also go behind the scenes with some of these gamers to see what they're doing when they're not playing video games.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
There was no knowledge of any payments from the president, and he's denied all of these allegations.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
New evidence this morning in the story about adult actress Stormy Daniels. This involves a second lawyer with ties to the president.
A former FEMA boss was in Sarasota County yesterday detailing the strengths and the weaknesses the county had when responding to Hurricane Irma nearly 6 months ago. What they are straight ahead. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Good morning to you. Welcome to this Thursday, March 15th, 1 month to the day when the taxes are due.
Did you do your taxes yet?
Not yet. We're doing my daughter's myself this year because she only has like 2 tax returns, so we're going to try that, but then I know enough to send mine off.
Yeah.
It's not good.
There is no better feeling when you finally finish and send them off.
Yes.
Like,
hit the send button.
Check
Done.
that off for the year.
Yes.
Don't you agree, John Scalzi?
I do indeed. Well, you know what? I'll make you feel better. Tax day is coming up, but so is spring. 5 days till spring.
All right, we'll take that.
So that feels pretty good, right? Yeah. It doesn't feel very spring-like out there right now, that's for sure. You know, we predicted the coldest night of the week yesterday, and in some places that's verifying, but in other places it's not. It's a strange kind of situation kind of set up for us today. 46 degrees Lakewood Ranch, 44 in Parrish, 44 in Bradenton, 47 in Sarasota. Wind speeds have been up a little bit, keeping temperatures up a little there. The effect of Gulf waters. Inland, where you're away from those Gulf waters, 43 Wauchula, Mayaca, and Arcadia. And Richard in Northport, our weather watcher there, comes in with 37 degrees. That is verified by Al, also in Northport, coming in at 36 degrees. And Becky in Old Mayaca, again this morning with 33 degrees out there. So depending on where you are, it is a very chilly start. In fact, everywhere it's a chilly start. It's just chillier in other places. 5 degrees below where we were 24 hours ago in Arcadia, 6 degrees below where we were yesterday in Punta Gorda along the coastline. We are just about at the same level or a little warmer by a degree or two. No rain showers in the forecast today, just wall-to-wall sunshine and a daytime high temperature that tops out a little warmer than yesterday, coming in at about 70. Talk about this warm-up and the next chance of rain in just a few. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Talk to you soon. Checking first alert traffic right now. Usual delays on 301 northbound toward downtown Bradenton. Otherwise, nothing major to report right now in that section. Farther south, you'll see some buildup there on the bend at the 301-41 split on the southern end of downtown Sarasota. And then to our south, some news to report to you now. Expect delays on southbound US 41 this morning. Northport Police is investigating an incident of a vehicle hitting a pedestrian. One person is being flown for treatment. 41 will be down to one lane in that area of Northport. Passers-by may cause slowdowns on the northbound side as well. So avoid that part of Northport if you can help it. And here's a live picture of a busy spot near downtown Sarasota. Traffic picking up right now at the US 301 and Fruitville Road intersection. Always a busy spot throughout the morning commute.
Always is. Always on our hot traffic spots every morning.
And there it is, live. All right.
All right, well, it has been more than 6 months since Hurricane Irma. This week, a former FEMA boss was in town with a kind of report card that kind of expanded a little bit on how well emergency services dealt with the hurricane.
And there were some highs and some lows. Marla Spence has 3 of his points. She's live at the EOC off Cattleman Road. Marla?
According to former FEMA expert Craig Fugate, he says the county responded well during Hurricane Irma, but does have some areas of improvement to work on. Those areas including the county working on evacuation routes that could be confusing for some residents, making all shelters pet friendly, implementing a registry for people with special needs and those that need transportation to shelters, and doing a better job communicating with the media. Now, along with those lists of improvements that need to be made, there were also some things that the county did do that made the process easy for response during Hurricane Irma. A spokesperson with the county says both the good and the bad will help them move forward in learning how to respond to future storms in the future. Reporting live in Sarasota County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Don't forget our app. You can check it out at our app store. It's under My Suncoast or WWSB.
Well, there's new evidence this morning that a second lawyer with ties to President Trump is now linked to that scandal that involves adult film star Stormy Daniels. Now, it all stems from a lawsuit meant to keep Daniels silent about an alleged affair with the president. ABC's Tara Palmieri has the report from Washington.
Overnight, documents provided to ABC News marked highly confidential reveal new connections between the Trump Organization and legal efforts to silence an adult film star. Stormy Daniels claimed she had an affair with the president more than a decade ago. Daniels has called the $130,000 non-disclosure agreement she signed for her silence hush money. The White House and Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, have tried to distance the president from the pact, signed just days before the election.
There was no knowledge of any payments from the president, and he's denied all of these allegations.
Cohen said he used his personal funds to pay Daniels. But a restraining order filed last month against Daniels for breaking her agreement draws another line to the president, because it's signed by Trump Organization lawyer Jill Martin. Martin said in a statement to the Wall Street Journal that she helped with the filing in, quote, her individual capacity. She added, quote, the company has had no involvement in the matter. Earlier this week, Daniels said she would wire the $130,000 back to the president to break the non-disclosure agreement. The president had 1 day to accept the offer. She's called the agreement null and void because then-candidate Donald Trump never signed it.
Why is that so important? Is she trying to sell her story? She's not trying to sell her story, and she wants to set the record straight. This is about the truth. It's about a search for the truth.
This could be a long battle. Stormy Daniels has launched an online fundraiser to help her cover her legal expenses while she fights to tell her story. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
A stabbing in Northport after a kidnap attempt has taken a strange twist and is connected to another high-profile murder case. Police say John Ludwig of Port Charlotte attempted to kidnap a woman early yesterday morning. He attacked her with a knife as she was getting out of her car outside of her home. Now, according to police, she was able to get the knife from him and stab him several times. He later died at the hospital. But here's where this story takes a twist. Ludwig was featured prominently on the Oxygen series last summer, The Disappearance of Natalie Holloway. Now, because he claims he was friends with Joran Vandersloot and helped bury the body of Natalie Holloway on the island of Aruba, even leading investigators to a spot right on the show. All right, so police say the woman involved will not be charged.
An investigation is underway this morning in Key West after a Navy jet crashed near the naval station there. Both men on board ejected but died. The jet was on approach to land at the Naval Air Station in Key West when it crashed in the water about a mile east of the runway. The aircraft crew was based out of Naval Air Station Oceana in Virginia. The cause of the crash is still under investigation.
Well, the former Punta Gorda police officer charged with manslaughter for shooting a woman during a civilian training class will be tried in Charlotte County. Lee Cole's attorney filed for a change of venue 3 times since December. A judge's decision was filed with the courts denying that request. Now, Cole accidentally shot 73-year-old Mary Knowlton in August of 2015 during a shoot, don't shoot scenario. Now, he was supposed to have blanks in his gun, but it was later learned that no one checked to make sure they were actually just blanks. The police chief was charged with culpable negligence. He was found not guilty, but he was terminated from his position.
On to consumer news now. Elite Airways announced it will end its service from SRQ to White Plains, New York. The twice-weekly nonstop routes began last November on Fridays and Mondays. Elite says the final day of service will be April the 30th. There was no official reason for the the end of that service, but I would guess it's a lack of passengers.
I'm going to go with that. That sounds like a good one. Yeah. All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest in your first alert weather and traffic, and
Day 2 today of the trial of the Pulse nightclub shooter's widow in Orlando. But first, here's a live shot from Atlanta right now, where it's 34 degrees. That Ferris wheel in the lower left
intrigues
corner.
you? You want to go for a ride on that
this
morning?
Go for a ride on that. Might be a chilly ride, though, John Scalzi.
Yeah, almost as cold as in Northport right now. We're looking in a red tide update for you. This is the midweek update, and from about Manasota Beach southward, some high indications of red tide are in the water. The trajectory forecast for this over the next several days shows a slow drift south and then out off the coast just a little bit in 3 to 5 days. If you are going to take a walk on the beach tonight, any of those beaches from Manasota southward, you could experience a little bit of irritation in the air. Sunset quality, though, 4 out of 4 beach balls. Complete forecast in just a moment.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt would leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-Sparky.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you, too.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new animal adventure.
Part of the training is for us to learn how to read our dog.
What goes into the training of search and rescue dogs? We'll see their noses in action. Join us this week on ABC 7.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at a 47-degree temperature at the airport with a dew point value of 41. So it's cool, crisp air outside. It's bracing as you head out the door this morning. In many locations, in some places more so than others, we have reports in inland areas of temperatures dipping into the 30s this morning. And you don't have to go far inland. Northport seeing some very chilly temperatures. Palmetto seeing some very chilly temperatures. Mayaca. So bundle up out there. I think you'll be able to lose those light jackets and sweaters, though, as we head into the afternoon and temperatures begin to rise to a value a little bit warmer than it was 24 hours ago. We'll start this warming trend that we've been talking about now for days, and it's going to get us up to near the 70-degree mark this afternoon. This afternoon looks like it's going to be just a beautiful afternoon. Lighter winds, full sunshine, no rain, and daytime highs near the 70 mark. This evening will be another cool one, though. Temperatures will quickly drip down into the 50s, and overnight lows will be similar to what they were this morning. big ridge of high pressure just back to the west kind of moves a little bit closer to us today. Moves a lot closer to us over the next 24 hours and eventually exits out into Atlantic waters, shifting our winds and effectively just cutting off the flow of air out of the north that's kept us so cool for so many days in a row now. When that high moves into the Atlantic and winds shift easterly, we begin a warm up that takes us up near the 80-degree mark, which returns us to about our average temperatures, or even a little above our average temperatures for this time of year. But it does look like the first day of spring 5 days from now is going to come in on the cool side, because another front taking shape back to the west is on the way. That'll be arriving here next work week. But until then, start of the daytime warm-ups begins today. Cool nights, though, still for another couple of nights, as that dew point air is still very low. Dew point meaning dry air. Dry air effectively cools off very easily. We'll wait for that moisture to return as we develop that easterly wind this weekend, and then nighttime lows will be a little bit warmer. Next chance of rain showers, though, don't come until next week, with another approaching frontal boundary I just mentioned. Watch the RPM computer model, put it into motion. We have completely sunny skies for today and for tomorrow as well. Over the weekend, maybe a few fair weather clouds, and then over the weekend, we'll watch an area of low pressure beginning to develop, producing rain showers in the deep south and creating a trailing cold front that'll be moving through our area probably on about Tuesday. As it moves through our area, we'll have a rain chance of about 50 to 60%, I think. Don't see any severe weather quite yet in the forecast, but certainly we could get some much needed rainfall. That then exits, and we're left with some clearing skies, which will eventually lead to some chillier temperatures once again. So spring will come in, I think, with temperatures in the lower 70s, maybe even some upper 60s as we head into next week. North wind coming in at about 10 today, light chop on your bay and inland waters, and the forecast looks like this. 70 for our high temperature today. On Friday, we'll look for about 74. Again, another cool night tonight, but then we'll start to warm as we head into the weekend. Saturday, we'll have a morning low of about 54 degrees. So if you have an early tea time on Saturday, it'll be a little bit better. And then as we head into the afternoon on Saturday, 75-degree temperature will make it feel, I think, a lot more comfortable out there for St. Patty's Day. And St. Patty's Day evening celebrations, just fine, no rain. 58 degrees the overnight low on Saturday. Sunday, almost near the 80-degree mark. A lot of sunshine around. It'll be beautiful. Spring breakers will enjoy Sunday, I think, near the beaches. And then as we head into the beginning of next week, we'll start to think about rain chances. Tuesday, probably the best chance for rain next week. And then we'll clear it out and turn a little cooler on Wednesday. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside right now to your first alert traffic at 647. Definitely starting to see some slowdowns out there. State Road 64, definitely some red as you're heading out to the beach area. That area is starting to get a little bit more congested, as well as the areas of the bridges that are heading into Bradenton as well. And 301 and State Road 70, those areas are starting to have some slowdowns as well. And if you're headed into Sarasota County, those roads are looking not too bad. A couple slowdowns here and there. The normal ones like University Parkway as well as Fruitville, especially around that interchange around 75 right there near Cattleman. And if you're heading a little bit farther south into Sarasota, those roads aren't looking too terrible out there. Starting to see some slowdowns, especially on 41 if you're heading southbound in that area. A little farther south out there as well on 41. There was a report that Northport police were investigating a car pedestrian crash. 2 lanes are blocked right before exit 161, and that is on 768, the Jones Loop Road. Right in that area, there's a slowdown. So be careful of those areas out there. Other than that, not much to see. 648 with your first alert.
Here's a live shot right now from Fruitville and 301. Traffic, of course, building, as it is prone to do this time of day. Busy spot, though. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the day also here at ABC 7. Back to the news right now. This morning, continuing coverage, day 2 of the trial of the wife of the Pulse nightclub shooter in Orlando. Jurors are listening to the emotional testimony of witnesses at the Pulse nightclub shooting where 49 people were killed. Federal prosecutors are trying to link Noor Salman to the actions of her husband, Omar Mateen. He was killed by police during the incident nearly 2 years ago. She could face life in prison.
Happening today, the Sarasota Housing Authority is hosting a meeting on their policies and programs. The idea to help alleviate the shortage of affordable housing and the shortage of housing for the homeless here on the Suncoast. Now, that meeting is going to be taking place this morning at the Community Foundation of Sarasota County. That's located right there on Fruitville Road. The meeting is going to be taking place from 8 until 10 o'clock this morning.
Had a chance to meet several of you yesterday at the Yankees-Orioles game at Ed Smith Stadium. Beautiful day for a ball game. I uploaded several pictures to my Facebook page, so when you get a chance, you can check that out. We also update daily content on Instagram as well. 6:49 right now. Still ahead, we'll update the day's top news headlines and our top 7 before 7.
And those include a major toy retailer that is closing its doors.
But first, a live look at Manhattan at 6:49.
beautiful.
Look at all the traffic there blinking on the right-hand side of your screen. 32 degrees right now in New York. They'll see a high of 45 degrees. We'll see a high here of 70. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Come experience the rugged capability and luxurious comfort of a new Ram truck and get big savings during Ram Truck Month at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Ram trucks. Get the all-new redesigned 2018 Ram Quad Cab for as little as $23,999. Or save big and get $10,000 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
All right, coming up on Good Morning America this morning, it is the end of an era for a toy store that we all grew up with. Toys R Us saying that they are closing all of their remaining stores here in the U.S. The news comes 6 months later. Now, more coming up today in Good Morning America. All right now, we want to make sure that you are ready for your day.
Here are the top 7 things before 7 o'clock from John Scalzi. We start with the weather. John?
Tell you what, we've got 3 takeaways for you today. The first one is the warm-up starts today. We'll get a little bit warmer than we were 24 hours ago, coming in at about 70. Even though we have cool mornings for the next several mornings, over the weekend we'll probably get up to near the 80-degree mark by Sunday. We'll be dry right straight through the weekend. Of course, St. Patty's Day coming up on Saturday. Looks to be just absolutely beautiful. The next chance of rain won't come until the first day of spring next Tuesday, and then we'll have a pretty good chance of showers. Those are your takeaways.
Okay, number 2, first alert traffic. The northbound lanes are blocked before exit 161. If you're coming north from Charlotte County, this affects you. Again, watch that area as you approach northbound. Now to Sarasota County, here's Marla Spence.
Former FEMA Administrator Cap Craig Fugate was in Sarasota County going over strengths and weaknesses the county saw during Hurricane Irma. Among many strengths, the county housed more than 20,000 people in shelters during the hurricane. Fugate wants the county to work on making all shelters pet-friendly and improving evacuation routes.
Number 4 now, 2 Navy servicemen have died after their FA-18 jet crashed off the coast of Key West last night. The jet was on approach to land at the Naval Air Station when it crashed in the water. The pilot and weapons system officer ejected, were recovered, but did not survive.
Number 5, just one day after that nationwide school walkout, surveillance video from that school shooting in Parkland, at the Parkland High School location. Later today, we're going to be seeing some of that surveillance video as they release it.
Number 6, new evidence this morning that a second lawyer with ties to the president is now linked to the scandal involving adult actress Stormy Daniels.
And finally, number 7, it was the kiss seen around the world. Wait for it. There it is on American Idol Sunday night. 20-year-old Benjamin Glaze told Katy Perry he'd never kissed a girl, so she changed it for him by a surprise kiss on the lips. Well, Glaze came out and later said he was a little uncomfortable with that kiss, saying he's from a conservative family and wanted his first kiss to be special. Ouch, you kissed Katy Perry. But now he's changing his tune, saying, wait, I didn't mean uncomfortable in a bad way, and no, he didn't feel sexually harassed. So now this thing has taken on a whole life of his own. He enjoyed it, but I was going to ask you guys if you remember your first kiss.
It wasn't Katy Perry, that's for sure.
Right? I feel like that's kind of special. You have a story for life.
I do. I lost my voice after I kissed Marcia.
That was a good
back
one.
in 4th grade.
9th grade. Ooh, you were an
9th
early
grade?
bloomer, yeah.
I'm older.
Yeah, mine was so awkward, I think I've erased it from my memory.
More on that tomorrow. Good Morning America is up next.